This is Earl Amin with the 2024 Site Podcast, where CEOs of small to global companies share their insights. It is 6 questions in 9 minutes because top CEOs know how to listen and be concise. So let's get to it. First of all, welcome, and in just a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. My name is Diane Lang. I am a therapist, a life coach, and an educator. I do a mix of counseling and coaching, as well as speaking, doing various webinars on emotional wellness. And I'm also an adjunct professor here in New Jersey at Montclair State University and also at Rutgers University.
Outstanding. Well, tell me, when you gather all of those things together, what's the best thing about being the CEO of all of those things?
Really, it's just having the ability to say yes or no to different, speaking events or clients that I don't want to do. It's allowing me to have my own schedule. And honestly, it gives me a sense of accomplishment and pride. I love being the CEO. I love being the boss, and I love what I do. So I take a lot of pride in it. And when I moved from working, for another company into my own, it was definitely a big positive change. I would recommend it, but I think certain personalities are better suited for it than others. I have a lot of clients who say it's not my thing, but if you're thinking about it, if it's something that you're really interested in and you love what you do, I think you'll get a lot out of it.
That was the therapist speaking as well.
Yes, it was.
Now, I hear, and I'm sure you do as well, from other CEOs that leading a team and being able to see what lies ahead can be a challenge. What are your thoughts?
I could see the point that it's a challenge, but I have to say, I haven't had that problem. I am one of the lucky few. I have a few people who work with me, and I really allow them to be independent. I give them what needs to be done. I don't micromanage. I trust my employees, but I've taken the time to really develop relationships and hire people who I knew could do the job. It was definitely a process. I don't just hire somebody. A lot of the people I actually work with, I have worked with for years. They were my students. They might have become my TAs, graduate assistants, and slowly developed a relationship where I knew I could trust them. So I do understand why it's a challenge. And I think if we do the hiring process and really get to know our employees, it could become not just a leadership role or a CEO, but also a friendship role. And that's what I like about being a CEO, that I can not only work with people, but be really good friends with them. And that makes the whole process way more enjoyable.
Agreed. Well, what specific piece of insight, and you can draw from any hat you choose, do you want to share with and for the benefit of other CEOs?
I was trying to think of that, and that was really hard to just nail it down to one thing because it's so hard. I've learned so much, but I think what I've learned the most about CEO is that you are in control of your own destiny. And I think that's a powerful thought to have, because a lot of times we feel that lack of control, or that we can't do things, or we have to depend on other people. And when I became CEO and I started my own business, I still remember a friend who recently started his own business said, "You're going to love this because you're going to be in control of your own life and your own destiny, and it won't feel like you have to wait for others' approval." And I think that's so important, because for a lot of us, we look for acceptance and approval from others, and it feels really good to get it from ourselves and then feel all those positive emotions like accomplishment and pride and hope and inspiration from ourselves, as well as the people we work with. So if there's anything, I think it really allows people to take back the power and use it in a powerful way to help others. And I just think that's awesome. And I know that's my therapist coming out as well as my CEO, but, I really do think they work together. When we help other people, when we feel good about ourselves, everybody thrives. And I find that to be the most important aspect of being a business owner.
I have to agree with you on all points. Very good. So also as part of your journey, what other successful CEOs, your contemporaries, who are successful like yourself, would you like to acknowledge or give a shout out to, and should be on my podcast?
You know what? trying to think about that. And, I have a really close friend, Tracy Serabin, who we've been best friends for years, and I love her. And she is really one of the other people in my life who's always been an inspiration for me, because she, again, will take the reins and do what she needs to do to run her own business. And it went from a coaching business. She's done a lot of parenting workshops, and now she's become like a CEO of a lifestyle brand. And I know that I've watched her grow, and she's watched me grow. And not only are we great friends, we're able to help each other. And I'm always inspired by her. Plus, she lives in Florida, and I'm a little jealous because I'm stuck in New Jersey in the winter. But no, she's incredible.
Indeed. Well, thank you for that. And we'll look forward to her attendance as well. So tell me, Diane, the last question is, how do you celebrate a win?
For me, celebrating a win is just really an inside job. I don't need to go out to dinner and celebrate. I need to feel it myself, because for a lot of us, when we start a business, we feel the fear, the fear of success, fear of failure, the imposter syndrome. Can I do this? And I went through all of that. So every time I get a win, and it just happened. I did a training yesterday, one of my first in-person ones since COVID, which was nice. And I got an email this morning saying some really nice words to me. And I had to take a moment to feel it, to connect to it, and really acknowledge that, yeah, I did the work to get here, and be proud of myself. And that's what I try to do with every win, is just take a few moments to really soak it in, learn from it, appreciate it, feel grateful for it, and then move on. Because I always don't want to get stuck in that, because with as many wins, we also have, losses as well. There's always failures in business. That's how we learn. So I'm grateful for all the wins. I stay there for a little while. And then when I have the losses or the failures that happen, mistakes, I try to stay there for a little bit, feel that, and then work through it to learn from it, because I'm always trying to grow. And I'm one of those people, wherever I am in my business, I'm happy, but I always want to be someplace else. I'm like, this is good, but how do I get there? So I take it as everything is a teachable, learnable moment.
Outstanding. Well, it's been a great pleasure having you on today, Diane. How can people find you?
Well, thank you for having me. And you can find me at my website, which is just my initials, dlcounseling.com. And on there's a little space that you can fill out for my newsletter. You can get a free ebook. So come on by, say hi, ask me any questions on my email, and I would, love to answer anything.
Outstanding. This is Earl Amin with the 2020 Foresight Podcast. For more insights, go to LinkedIn and search for The Gray Owl Company. Diane, thank you so very much.
Thank you.